Hey, what is up, Agency Network? Welcome back to episode number 4 of Monday Morning Mindset. Today is October 28th, and I am super appreciative that you are here with me to kick off your week. So, I'm a big sports fan, and one of the things that I love about being in the insurance business is the sports analogies are endless. But the one I want to talk about today is the power of momentum. You hear about a team who wins 6 straight games to end a season and they have momentum heading into the playoffs. Or during a game when a team who was losing big time during halftime starts the second half with a bunch of unanswered points. And even while they're still behind on the scoreboard, all 80,000 people in that stadium just believe that they are going to win because momentum has shifted. Players and teams who harness the power of momentum feel unstoppable. They feel invincible. They know that they are in the zone and performing at the highest level. There is a science to success, and scientific events such as momentum, they don't just happen, they're created. So I want to break down some nerdy scientific facts for you. All objects, including us, have mass, and momentum is simply mass in motion. Now, the amount of momentum that an object has is based on variable velocities, okay? So let's get back to the sports analogies. I'm a little more comfortable there. Ever watch one of those world's strongest men competition? Have you seen the events where they tie one end of a rope to an enormously muscular human and the other end of that rope behind them to an enormous tractor trailer truck? What happens when the gun goes off and that man starts trying to pull this enormous truck forward? In the beginning, he's exerting mass amounts of energy. He's grunting and sweating and veins are popping all out of his body and his face is turning redder and redder by the second. And what is the truck behind him doing? It's barely moving. In fact, you can hardly notice any movement from that truck at all. And this is exactly what it's like when you start any new activity or project or diet or discipline or habit. Even after you apply massive amounts of focus and effort, you may initially only get a minuscule result. But just like the world's strongest man attempting to pull that truck, you keep grinding it out. And after a few minutes of maximum effort, the muscle man gets that truck moving at a noticeably faster pace. And then what happens? His face isn't as red, his breathing becomes easier, and the truck moves faster and faster. So his level of effort is actually reduced because he's broken through by gaining momentum. So now the question becomes, which one big step caused that truck to start moving so fast? In other words, what caused Muscle Man's great success? Was it his first step, his second step, his 20th step? You see, he wouldn't be able to answer that because it wasn't just one step. It was all of them added together. It was his overall accumulation of effort applied consistently in one forward direction. Sure, some steps may have been stronger and he might have pulled harder than other steps, but the key was consistency that he used when building momentum. So again, the question becomes, if gaining momentum takes this incredible effort and sustained activity to get your truck moving forward, then why on God's green earth would you ever stop once you have momentum? Because when you want to get it going forward again, it takes all of that extreme effort that you exerted initially all over again. All of that time commitment all over again, just to get back to the same momentum and the speed that you once already had. So my challenge to you today is this: if you are currently stopped, then start. If you have started, then keep pulling harder and harder. And if you've broken through and you've gained momentum, then ride that wave, because there is a science to being in the zone and playing with momentum. If you have it, stay late, make more calls, hold more appointments, keep that truck moving forward because you worked way too hard to stop now. This coming Friday, we begin a new month. It is almost November 1st. If your numbers are strong going into these last couple months, don't take your foot off the gas now. Keep riding that wave of momentum and drive it right into 2020. If your numbers aren't where you want them, then keep pulling on that rope and exerting that energy required to get that truck behind you pushing forward. Heck, even if you miss the mark by December 31st of this year, you are going to find yourself steamrolling into January. And for you Tikas in the group, this metaphor applies to your career as well. So don't think for a second that all of your struggles out of the gate aren't going to pay dividends eventually. Momentum is mass in motion, and that mass that you are attempting to move on day one is extremely heavy, and it will take incredible amounts of grit and pure determination to get it moving forward. So I challenge you to not focus on those who already have the momentum and how easy it looks for them. Instead, just focus on taking your next step and then the next step after that. You've got this, crew. Keep pushing, keep pulling, grinding, grunting, and doing whatever it takes to gain the unstoppable force that's called momentum. And I look forward to seeing you right back here next week for Mindset Monday.